So this video is something completely different, something that I've never done before. Now I decided to take all of the Scotland's Biggest Degenerates from part 1 to part 10 and compile them all into one massive compilation. And the reason that I've done this is because I have a few videos that I'm currently working on, and one of them is quite a big video, so I need plenty of time for that, which means that I don't have time to, you know, bash out 2 videos per week right now. So I decided this week we're just going to do a big compilation of all the videos that are already out. So before I do jump into it and start with Scotland's Biggest Degenerates Part 1. Of course I do have to put a trigger warning, as a lot of the material that I do cover in these videos are very, very disturbing. They talk about child endangerment, predatory behaviour, extreme violence, all of those sort of morbid topics, so viewer discretion is advised. As well, I would just like to say, I did start this series quite a while ago, like maybe about a year ago, and that was before I upgraded my camera and my microphone equipment. So the first maybe 5 or 6 of these videos, the quality isn't really the best, and it does get better as the compilation goes on. There was also one video, and I think it's Scotland's Biggest Degenerates Part 6, and the colour is just terrible. I think that was when I switched over to my new editing software and I couldn't colour grade, so that one is just terrible, but you guys might just have to beware, or you can just skip that one, either or. But yeah, the quality does get better as we go on, so I just wanted to warn you guys that I was just starting out on YouTube for these first couple of videos. But anyways, I'll shut the fuck up and we can just get straight into the compilation. So again, this is every Scottish degenerate. Jade Jackson. I honestly don't even know where to start, so Jade Jackson might be the funniest person on this list, but she's definitely not the most fucked up. If you're Scottish, or if you're just on TikTok in general, you might have heard this.
Pig as a beast, beast, beast. Pig as a beast, beast, beast.
So, this absolute tune is called Craig is a Beast, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory on who Craig is rather soon. The first thing that I do want to mention is Jade Jackson is actually the niece of the Scottish serial killer Peter Tobin. I've actually done a video on him before, so if you're interested in that sort of true crime, you can go check that one out. Now, Jade herself is a 30-year-old woman from Paisley. She's been involved in like numerous different controversies.
So we'll be getting done all right then, no? What? Aye, whatever. Well, you'll need me something right, because I'm not in life. Right, so you're just going to starve me tonight then, aye, don't bother. Whatever. Lazy bastard. Whatever, just leave me the fuck alone, man.
As well, Peter Tobin is actually from the same little town that I'm from, and which is so funny because Jade Jackson actually used to live like just down the road from me, and here I am now making a video about her. So she's also been like run out of like many different places, she's had to be protected by the police as well on 3 separate occasions. So for example, for some of the fucked up things that she's done, back in 2016 she was jailed after sending threatening text messages to a 12-year-old girl over social media, even threatening to slash her. Now the reason for the abuse was because Jade believed that the 12-year-old was speaking to her boyfriend. Yeah, no, how fucked up is that? And she even went as far as to send this 12-year-old girl like a picture of her like brandishing a knife up to her face. So for this offence, Jade received an 8-month jail sentence. Her partner Craig Galloway has an equally disturbing criminal history. Back in 2015 he was convicted of possessing CP, leading to him being on the offenders register. Now remember that song Craig is a Beast that I played all of 30 seconds ago? I'm going to play it again for the giggles.
Pig as a beast, beast, beast.
Well, the vast majority of you guys watching are not from Scotland. I can tell that by my analytics. So for educational purposes, I'm just going to tell you guys that beast is, it means predator, right? A PDF file. Now the best part of this story is Jade's social media presence. She frequently goes live on TikTok and she says some of the most outrageous things like known to man, like she just hits out with, oh it's so funny, so fucking funny.
Right, so basically when I'm going for a sleep during the day, he's putting his hand down his trousers and wanking.
Okay. How How do you know that if you're sleeping?
Because sometimes when I get up to go to the toilet, I can see him doing it.
Okay.
And he won't let me see his phone or nothing.
Right.
So is that a little bit suspicious?
I don't know, each to their own, I don't know what he's doing, but... So that, how do you know he's talking to some kids or something?
I don't know if he's talking to anyways.
Right.
I don't know who he talks to.
You said Craig has shown me some TikTok chat between you and a few others, and people are suggesting that he needs to have boiling water with sugar poured over it.
So I'm getting arrested then?
I'm not telling you I'm getting arrested. Why are you shouting at me? I'm talking in a very nice level, right here.
Right, so Jason and Nicole and that.
Jay, just lower the voice and talk to me.
Right, so Jason and Nicole and JP that was on me.
Right.
It was one of them that said that I was to go down and put boiling water over him. And I went down and told him that, and I said to him, he already knew about it anyway, and I said to him, I wouldn't even do that to you.
Yeah, right. So somebody else is saying this. Is that something you think David's going to come and do?
Well, yeah, because apparently Amanda Britt, Hulk, and a couple of people are meant to be coming to the protest tonight.
So a few folk are coming to protest?
Yes,
tonight.
and they want me to go out and help them.
What are they protesting?
To get Craig out.
To get him out?
Yes.
She's also been very well known to get into a bit of drama with the next person on our list, Amanda Britt. So Amanda Britt rose to public fame across Scotland, pretty much just for being an absolute fucking menace. She also frequently live streams across all of our social media platforms. She does some questionable things. One spectacle that clouds my mind is this video of her arguing in A&E, or the emergency room, in a hospital. I'll play this video. It's absolutely nuts.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh right here, right now, right here, right now. Oh no, one, fucking go, right, think you're fucking bomb. I can go. You touch me, I'll fuck you up, I'll fuck you up. Go, I'll fucking here. Shit bad, right, bad mate, fuck off your fucking bag. Who's that shit? Me fucking go there, I don't give a fuck. Go! Wow. Mate, you started this. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. You started. Stupid. You started this. I let it go. I let it go and you started.
Another one that I can remember is a video from years ago of Amanda arguing with a guy and having a dance battle in the middle of a McDonald's in Glasgow. You literally cannot make this shit up. Amanda Britt is also one of these people that likes to put fuel on the fire. During my research for this video, I found a Facebook post. It was just a random person asking, like, who is Amanda Britt, what's the backstory behind this person, and I went straight to the comment section. Of course I did. So I'm going to read some of them. She's from Glasgow, sadly calls herself a fudbook celebrity, aka attention seeking imbecile, and records herself abusing staff at A&E, throwing herself in a canal after calling places to pull up, dancing in the town centre in her underwear, there's not enough bleach to remove that one, and so much more. Another comment reads, she used to live in Fife and went with a murderer. She would take the piss out of the victim and reenact the murder on camera. She moved from Dunfermline to Glasgow after they chased one of their neighbours with a knife. And Amanda Britt actually replied to this comment, saying, "No me in the video, get your facts correct." After scrolling down slightly, I found a comment made by Amanda herself about the situation. Also, it was David that did that and got 5 years for it. I never. I also moved back to Glasgow because I'm from Glasgow and I was born here. Again, get your facts correct. Silly, silly girl. I never murdered anyone, nor did I have any involvement in anything to do with her. She then shared a screenshot of a Daily Record News article titled Evil dog lead killer David Craigie chased terrified neighbour with a knife, followed by another comment saying, yes, contempt. You said I chased the neighbours with a knife. I did my time, honey. Move on. I just think it's absolutely crazy how she's in like comment sections having to defend herself. Like, that's just fucking... that's weird. The most recent thing that I found actually came up on my Facebook feed. I didn't go looking for this one on my own. So on the 6th of September, a woman by the name of Amy posted about her horrific experience with Amanda Britt and the years of abuse that she's received. She exposed threatening videos, text messages and words on live streams, including threats to send parcel bombs, parcel bombs, to her and her kids. So Amanda is actually currently in jail for this. She received 3 months. Honestly, I've got like enough material to make a video, like a separate video on her own. Like, so if you guys would be interested in seeing that, let me know. So now, I'm going to talk about one more person on this list. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know exactly who this is. My last video was about her. I've made 2 full videos on this woman. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, I literally cannot make a video on Scottish Degenerates without giving Stephanie Watson a mention. So, Stephanie Watson. I'm just going to get straight into the point with this one. To sum up the whole idea, if you're interested in the entire picture, of course you can check out 2 of the full-length videos. But basically, 9 months ago, I was scrolling through Facebook. I came across a picture of an XL bully dog that like so many of my friends were sharing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I went to the comment section, as you do. Out of curiosity, so it turns out that Stephanie Watson was exposed for basically live streaming and filming herself having relations with the dog. Yeah, you heard that right. So screenshots and videos were shared about online. I refused to view the videos, but I did see the screenshots, and I do have one of the screenshots. I did put the screenshot in my last video. I'll do it again here. Oh my days. Oh. Yeah, no, immediately I was like, I have to sit down and film a video about this like right now. And that's like my most popular video. Right now it's sitting at like 17,000 views, which is absolutely nuts. And then around 3 weeks ago I was streaming on Twitch, and I was told about some other things that she's done, including she was convicted for severe assault after attacking a woman with a Buckfast bottle. She also scammed a practice because she tried to pay with plastic surgery for a designer vagina with bogus credit cards. So she got caught for that too, of course she fucking did. So it's just crazy, man. The very first video that I posted, I went through her Facebook page. Her Facebook page is gone now, obviously because of all the abuse and shit that she received, and some of the comments are fucking hilarious. So honestly, I would recommend going and watching that video, not because it's my video, but because like it's just so funny and nobody else really talks about it. Nobody's talking about it, so that's the only place that you're going to see it. Jess Rennie. Now, before doing the research for this video, I didn't actually really know who Jess Rennie was. I mean, I've probably seen like some videos of her before, but that's all I knew until this video came up on my TikTok For You page.
Jess Rennie goes absolutely mental and starts breaking things.
That'll get me the views up. That'll get me the views up, eh? Give them what they want. Get live, eh? Get fucking live. Fuckers. Yay. Yeah. Is that what you want?
So Jess Rennie is a 43-year-old woman from Musselburgh, which is in Edinburgh. She's a self-acclaimed TikTok star. She's just very known for her outrageous behaviour. She's known to frequently live stream across various social media platforms. She hits out with some awful things.
Because when I get hold of them, they're going to get killed. I'll phone the police. I want to ask for help, and they just come in. So if they get fucking hurt, they get fucking hurt. No, my fucking fault. Oh, I told them attacking my house. They're still standing down there. They're still down there for sure.
For example, back in December 2024, Jess went live on TikTok and began ranting over some kids who allegedly smashed the windows of her home. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory on what it is that she actually went on to say. Basically, she threatened to commit another Dunblane. So if you're not aware, on the 13th of March 1996, Thomas Hamilton walked into Dunblane Primary School, which is near Stirling, in Scotland, of course, and he shot and killed 16 pupils and 1 teacher, injuring 15 others in the process before turning his weapon on himself. It remains as one of the deadliest mass shootings in all of British history. It's a real tragedy. Now, what Jess went on to say in her live stream was that she was going to blow up 2 high schools in East Lothian. She was quoted saying, "Your children will fucking die for smashing my fucking windows, because I'll blow all the fucking bairns up. They don't deserve to breathe this world. They don't deserve to be here." Now, of course, the viewers of this live stream were left absolutely horrified, as you would be, by these threatening remarks. And it was a viewer that actually reported the incident to the police. So Jess then pled guilty to a charge of behaving in a threatening or abusive manner, and she was ordered to pay a fine.
I'll get fireworks and blow your school up when you're at. I'll be another Dunblane. Bang, 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 bang. Motherfuckers. They'll just be on my fucking window for stains it again. And I'll put a camera in the window and I'll blow your school on fire with the bastards. I'll blow it up.
Now, Jess Rennie is actually one of those people that you can type her name into the TikTok search bar, click on any video, and you'll have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's just that chaotic.
I'm too messy, and I'm too fucking clean. You told me get a job and you asked where the hell I've been. And I'm too perfect, so I open my big mouth. I want to be me, is that not allowed? And I'm too clever, and then I'm too fucking dumb.
And it's clear that she's lost the plot. She's lost the plot. Sorry, I can't fucking speak. And is well overdue a social media ban. I was honestly so confused when searching through TikTok to gather information on this woman. Like, it's so hard to piece everything together, because my head is so fried from watching all these videos. So I took a much needed break from TikTok and began looking through online articles and found some more information on other things that she's done as well. So back in April 2022, Jess was actually arrested after she showed up at a home on Delta Road, which is in Musselburgh, armed with a brick and some rocks. She then proceeded to shout threats at a woman inside the home before tossing the brick through the window. She then went on to assault the woman by physically attacking her, and then she went on to spit at the arresting officer. In another incident, Jess received an antisocial behaviour order, or an ASBO, after the smell of cannabis clouded her home. After breaching that order, however, she was sentenced to a short custodial term of 20 days, which was backdated. As well, in another incident, Jess admitted to throwing pieces of broken glass from a window, shouting threats to harm herself, behaving disorderly and breaching the peace. She was placed under supervision by social work for this one. Finally, I came across a Reddit post by a user named Nocturnal Nightwish under a subreddit called UK TikTok Behaving Badly. The title of this post is Jess Rennie, Alan's been poisoning her, and it reads, "So I jumped onto Jess's live and she was saying apparently Alan has been drugging her with painkillers for a big dog. She said he's been putting crushed up tablets in the kettle and then making her cups of tea, and they tasted funny and made her sick. And apparently he stole a necklace that Jules has been banging on about and a poem she wrote when she was in jail that took her a month to write. There's also many inconsistencies in her story, and she was screaming at Alan as well. People were also commenting on the live asking her why Alan is still here if he's been poisoning her. Why hasn't she flung him out and changed the locks, etc. Her answer: it's not that easy. If you tell Alan to go away, and if you hate him, he'll just come back. He's a narcissist. He'll go and get keys cut. I don't buy her story, to be honest. She's probably asked him to get her a fix and he's told her no, and now she's throwing a tantrum and making up lies about him because she's not getting her own way. She did the same thing to Robert Archibald when she lost a box battle with him. She said some horrible things about him, including grape and DV, which obviously weren't true. Another user commented, "Who are they? Never heard of them." Nocturnal Nightwish then went on to say, Jess Rennie is a Scottish TikToker from Musselburgh, Scotland. She's an ex-addict, although people still suspect that she uses. She's notorious on Scottish TikTok for starting fights with people, going on huge alcohol-fueled rants and rages, throwing accusations at people that aren't true, and recently made a horrible comment about the Dunblane massacre. Alan is not her partner. He's her friend who regularly visits her and runs errands for her, as she can barely go out in the street without getting attacked. Her windows have been smashed many times as well. For more background on her, look up the Tattle Life thread about her. It's called Jess Rennie. Addiction is an awful thing. It makes people do and say crazy things. It's a really hard thing to see, but at the same time you can't help but feel a bit of empathy for these people. The next person on our list is currently making headlines for a case he's involved in. Now this is an ongoing case, so I'm just going with what information that I have. Lee Sutherland. So, Lee Sutherland is a content creator who's attracted online attention for producing content where he portrays a lawyer. So he's pretending to be a lawyer for some fucking reason. A road traffic lawyer specifically, which is so ironic, and you'll find out why in just a bit. Now his TikTok mostly consists of him dressing up in police and legal attire, because he likes to think that he's a lawyer. Which is funny, because I'm a 4th year uni student. I do criminology and sociology with law, that's what I study, and I've got more legal experience than him. And I wouldn't trust myself to defend a fucking hamster. And that's coming from someone who literally failed her criminal law exam and had to resit it, listen to this, because I'm a fucking idiot, because I accidentally used English law instead of Scottish law. So my pretend client went straight to prison for that one. So don't hire me. Go to someone else. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick to YouTube. Maybe this is my calling. Maybe I should just maybe uni's just no for me. I'm joking.
I am specialist in road traffic law because obviously most of the time I always present myself. Most of the time
in court,
aye, exactly. I'm quite good at it. I always went up to the front of a sheriff into the dock and presented myself into court. So the sheriff always keep asking, do you have a lawyer? Do you have a solicitor? I don't want to use a solicitor. I want to present myself.
They're part of the system.
Exactly, right. So that's why they kind of panic a wee bit, So when they panic a wee bit in court, because obviously your lawyers, your PFs, your judges and all that, they're all in the same ring, So that's why they want to make deals. So when they start making deals, that's why your lawyer's there to fight it. To make twist up some of the words and all that,
get the verdict that they've all agreed on. Aye,
exactly.
So he's been involved in his number of controversies as well. Of course, like everybody I cover under this series. So for example, back in 2021, Sutherland admitted to posting alarming and threatening content online after he went on a live broadcast and went on to set fire to a bin outside a post office in Kirkendilloch. In the live broadcast, he used threatening language towards a police officer, and he pled guilty to the charges at Glasgow Sheriff Court and was sentenced to 108 hours of unpaid work and court-ordered supervision for 12 months. Sorry, I fucked the script up there. I'm not very professional, am I? Jesus.
That's what you'll be getting. Good spank to the kneecaps if I was a fucking police.
Now, just in the past week, there's been another trial surrounding Lee Sutherland. On the 15th of June 2023, Lee Sutherland was driving a Ford Mondeo in Cumbernauld when he collided with another car, a Peugeot. The driver of the Peugeot was 77-year-old Margaret Allen, who later passed away due to her injuries on the 6th of July. Also in the car was a 10-year-old male child who was hospitalised due to his injuries sustained in the crash as well. Investigations into the crash revealed several factors, including the anti-lock braking system on Sutherland's car was faulty, the vehicle's battery was not properly fixed, he was driving at least 44 miles per hour in what is believed to be a 40 mile an hour zone. Just 1 week before the crash, Lee Sutherland had actually been disqualified from driving, and as well after the collision, rather than immediately reporting the incident or assisting like any normal person would, he was seen simply just walking away. It was also noted that at the scene he allegedly made a remark trying to shift the blame onto the victim by saying, and I quote, "It would not have happened if the fucking bitch had not pulled out." So Sutherland's case went to the High Court in Glasgow. The prosecution argued that the collision was completely avoidable, that his vehicle was in an unsafe condition, and that his conduct both before and after the incident indicated reckless regard for others' safety. As I'm sitting down recording this video, just 1 week ago, on the 8th of October 2025, the jury returned with a guilty verdict, and Sutherland was found guilty of causing death by dangerous driving. The sentencing, however, has been postponed pending further reports, but reports have emphasised his complete lack of remorse. A truly deserved verdict. I can't even imagine the pain and the anger that the family of Margaret Allen must be feeling right now, and I cannot stress enough the seriousness of this case. Yes, I might make videos on Scottish BAMs, and some of the things in some of the videos that I show you might be funny, this is entertaining, but at the end of the day a life was lost here, and Lee Sutherland will truly get what he deserves. I did have a look to see if there was some sort of GoFundMe set up for the family of the victim, so that I could try and direct you guys over there, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything at all. So all I can ask is all of you lovely viewers to keep Margaret and the young victim as well in your thoughts and prayers. So the third and final person on this list I've seen around TikTok before, but I didn't know much about him before researching this video. Scottish Rambo. Real name Ryan Chalmers is a wannabe gangster from East Kilbride. He likes to think he's a gangster, but he's really he's something else, man. And just like everyone else on my list of Scottish Degenerates, he himself has been involved in numerous different controversies and been on the other end of the law. For example, in June of this year, Ryan filmed himself on TikTok entering his ex-girlfriend's home and stealing £3,000. Now, I absolutely love to watch, those YouTube videos and it's like the world's most stupid criminals who get caught. Ryan absolutely fucking deserves to be on the top of this list, because imagine committing a crime, which is bad enough, but to film it on a TikTok live is just nuts. That's just a different level of idiot. So he was charged with threatening behaviour and possession of an offensive weapon and received 10 months. During my research, I also discovered that back in August of 2012, Scottish Rambo was acquitted of murder charges after Christopher Bergen, who was 42 at the time, was fatally stabbed in the stomach. Ryan Chalmers admitted that he stabbed the victim, but claimed it was in self-defence after Christopher Bergen and 2 other men allegedly invaded the flat that he shared with his mother. An 8-day trial took place at the High Court in Glasgow, and again, a not proven verdict was given. 2 years later, Ryan was on the other end, and he was actually attacked after he was shot at in both legs, in what was described as a targeted attack, possibly in retaliation for the Bergen case. I don't want to say that this was deserved, but he does quite literally ask for it. Scottish Rambo went live one time and he shared his live location, taunting his enemies and urging them to come and get him. He then went on to pull up his trouser legs and boast about the scars that he received from the 2014 attack. So it's clear that he's got absolutely no fear, and it's only a matter of time before he taunts the wrong person and ends up actually paying for it. Well, I mean, he did sort of pay for it when he got shot in the legs, but I mean, he's going to lose his life one day. Jade Charlotte Crawford. Now, the woman who reached out to me wishes to be remained anonymous for obvious reasons. So I'm going to read out our conversation and then I'll dive into some of the case details that I found online. So she said, I've got it open here. Hi there, I don't usually do this. I'm originally from East Kilbride and I just watched your video on the girl who faked her pregnancy. You mentioned making a video on Scottish BAMs. I was wondering if you've heard of Jade Charlotte Crawford. When I was 16, she attacked me in the bus station outside East Kilbride Town Centre. I took her to court 3 times, but she got away with it from never turning up. This is someone who terrorised me from age 15 to 17, and she jumped me when I was 16 and when she was 21. But there's more. A few years after my attack, I am sure she attacked more than just me. She was feared for a reason. But she was later taken into court of extortion and prostitution. Ooh. Basically, she was extorting men who were asking her for, and she threatened to tell their wives if they didn't pay her. She got away with all of it because she claimed she did it to pay for her mum's medication. I don't know how she got away with it when the NHS pay for prescriptions. So I sent a screenshot of a news article that I found online, and I said, is this her by any chance? She said, yeah, that's her. I'm just frustrated by it all because I feel although she has escaped justice, massively. So I said, I'm just reading into her just now. Wow, that's crazy. I'm so sorry you had to go through all that. I'd be more than happy to cover this scumbag if you'd be willing to allow me to use your story and have you as part of the video. People like her deserve to be blasted. She said, you don't need to talk about it. It would be a short story, I think. Not much there. I don't mind being part of the story, but can I stay anonymous as I'm not a public person? When I was 16, a friend of hers jumped me. She was 15 and I charged her, and she admitted to police, so she was given an ASBO. That's why Jade jumped me, because the other girl couldn't. She threatened to have her dad R-word me. Her words were, do you know who my dad is? I said no. She said, my dad's just out the jail for R-wording a wee girl in Calderwood, and now he's after you. That's when she got me and swung me about. Someone intervened and stopped it before I got seriously hurt, because as you can see, she was a big woman and I was a tiny, skinny 16-year-old. I had to go to court when I was pregnant, due to give birth on the 3rd of August, and the second court date was the 29th of July, so you can imagine how pregnant I was at the time. I said, yeah, absolutely, I do a series called Scottish Degenerates where I talk about these sort of people, and they're usually short segments, and of course I will keep you completely anonymous. That is absolutely insane. That must have been such a stressful time for you. She'll get her day. She said, thank you so much. I just feel robbed of justice, and I know it was years and years ago, but it just annoys me that she got away with all of it. Even the stuff she didn't do to me, she got away with it all. I went to court a total of 3 times, and I was told there were warrants of her arrest, but that's all I know, because after the 3rd time that was it, and then a year later I saw that exact news report. I thought she would have been sentenced for something, especially with her history, but I guess the lawyers didn't look into all of it, or the judge didn't consider it. I'm not the only little girl she attacked. They also threatened my little sister online and at school after I left. She was a minor, 3 years younger than myself. So again, if I see a video on her, you will have helped me get some form of justice for what happened, so thank you. I love your reporting and supporting. I don't even read that bit. She was also part of the centre crew, which was a mix of adults and teens that hung about town after it was closed. Loads of guys in their 20s going out with minors and buying them alcohol. That's who she associated with. She also said that I was free to reach out if I needed any more information, but that's sort of the conversation, how that conversation went. So I was like, I need to look more into this. But basically she pretty much provided all the details. Like, this is her report and not mine. So looking online, I found that article from the Daily Record written by Andrea Lambrow, and the title is East Kilbride sex worker who drove client to the brink of suicide over blackmail plot dodges jail. Now, this article is from the beginning of December 2017. It was exposed that Jade would message with these men online and threaten to expose their sleazy secrets if they did not pay her. So she was 23 years old at the time, which would make her 31 years old now. It's believed that she would advertise her services on an adult website called adultwork.com under the username ChantelEK. Possibly the EK stands for East Kilbride? I'm not sure, but that's my idea. One man was so stressed and overwhelmed by the whole situation that his mental health took a very dark toll, as Jade would send him threatening text messages on WhatsApp. So one text message read, "Does your wife know you see escorts?" She then went onto the man's Facebook page, took photos of him and his wife, sent them to him, saying it would be a shame for her to know what you've been up to, and then she brought up his children. It's clear that she did this to multiple men, and eventually Jade was arrested for it. She pled guilty to extortion and her case was seen at Hamilton Sheriff Court. So she was actually sentenced to 12 months of supervision and 150 hours of unpaid work rather than any jail time. The judge took into account the remorse that she felt for her actions, which is complete and utter bull because this woman feels nothing. To the lady who shared her story, thank you so much for reaching out and allowing me to share your words. I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you did. But it's crazy, it's a crazy story, but thank you. I've actually had a few people reach out to me with cases and people that they'd like me to see cover, and I've written them all down. I always welcome your DMs and I will always answer. My socials are below in the description, so if you have anything that you'd like to share, my Instagram is open. I do ask that you guys stay away from my Facebook because that's more personal, and there's not much on there, to be fair. So Instagram is definitely the way to go. I have had a few people message me on Messenger and I can't answer on there, sorry, but Instagram and TikTok is fine. But yeah, you can follow my TikTok as well, that's in the description. So that's all of the information that I was able to get on Jade Crawford, but the next person on our list is a lot more known. John Shields. Now, John Shields is not really somebody that I'd heard of until just about a month ago, and now he constantly comes up on my TikTok For You page with his live streams. 3 times I've clicked on his live streams and stayed for a couple of minutes. The first time he was sitting in silence, drinking what looked like a bottle of alcohol and crying. The second time he had a screenshot of his PayPal account as a green screen begging for donations. He does this frequently.
Right, can everybody send £1 to the PayPal in the bio? Do you know what, just fuck it, everybody send £1 to the PayPal in the bio, I'm begging.
The third time he was arguing with a lady, and I actually screen recorded this because it was just nuts, and I'll play this clip.
To realise the shite people. Do you get what I mean?
Hi, Loza. Hi, listen,
Loza, babe, how
it's
you
not to do with
doing?
you, hen. Right, John, you asked me to request and then why? Right, so why you call me a junkie? I don't know, Jamie.
I didn't call you a junkie.
How am I a junkie? You
I
tell me
didn't call
how
you
I'm a
one, babe. What you
junkie.
gonna do?
I could take a fucking rug test right now and clean for everything. How are you saying that?
Hen, I didn't call you a junk ball.
You did.
No, I did not, babe.
But I'll tell you one thing, keep fucking Jay's name out your...
Did I call her a crackhead? I'm sorry, but like, see when Loza makes 70 videos in a night, like, it kinda looks like she's a crackhead. Like, see when Loza doesn't make 7 videos for 7 fucking days and then she makes 70 videos in one fucking night. I'm sorry, but it kinda looks like Loza's
John,
a crackhead.
you're the one that needs to sort your fucking head out, darling. Do not criticise me. And you're obviously bringing my weighing up. I need to be a better naughty my weighing. I'm at college.
Need to bro up your vein. The only thing I've spoke about you losing is your teeth to crack, babe. I have never brought up your veins. I have never ever spoke about your veins. Never. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know that you've got fucking veins.
I'll prove you I'm the one fucking any what you're saying. See that scratch you've got in your face? You'll need to worry about more than a fucking scratch.
You'll notice that John has a large scratch, like, across his face, and it's clear that he's been in a physical fight. And what's not surprising at all is that he live streamed this fight, and I have the clip.
I've came up round the fucking corner, John. John, I'll get down here and knock you the fuck out. I'm waiting for you. Drop hands. Did the cameras work? Do they? Oh, so you have to do it in front of a fucking camera, didn't you? Drop hands. What, you standing like a teenage mutant ninja turtle with a fucking scag? Drop hands. Shagging your own sister, mate, didn't you? Drop hands. Mate, I just want you so I can... Right, move. Who flies who on? Who flies who on? Move it, go on. Move it, go on.
So if Jake Paul is looking for his next contender, he does not have to look very far. Looking further into the rabbit hole that is John Shields' life, I found an STV news article from September 17, 2025, just over a month ago, which shares details of how just after 11 PM on Monday the 18th of August, John Shields was live when he was approached by a man who was then subject to indecent comments and touching. So in other words, he essayed a random man in a train station. I also found some videos from when John spent some time living in a tent.
I'm on live, so they'll see everything I've said to you,
You're
John.
going alive.
Aye?
So you're coming here, harassing my dog, putting him under further stress.
So you can't, so you can't accuse us.
Don't pretend
Aye, it is.
Archie, this is about you and your life. That's pathetic.
What that? Is that right? Is that right, John? Is that right? Is that right? What was my first words? What was my first words to you? What, you going to take your dog to the vet? You going to let's take you to the vet? Are you?
I'm not letting you
Exactly.
I don't get in a motor with a crack kid. I don't get in a motor with a James Benny looking like balls.
John.
Hello, can you say something about these free crack kids?
I'm not a crackhead.
See for that video, you got a swan for cutting his stuck between the legs.
John,
Put that
can
there.
you not do the right thing? Honest
No,
to
I
God.
haven't.
See, if you loved that dog, like you say you do, you wouldn't be doing this.
If you can,
Don't shout. I'm not shouting at you.
you supposed to.
I'm not shouting.
Hello, I'm being harassed. Hello, I'm currently being
I'm not
harassed by
shouting.
crack kids that are on a live stream that apparently phoned and made false reports to the police last night and have done 21 times over the past 3 weeks.
Well, we don't like we done it 21 times.
I do know that he's no longer living on the streets in this tent, but I'm not sure about his current situation. I think that he's living in some sort of homeless unit or a hostel, but I genuinely cannot sit on his streams for any more than a couple of minutes because all he does is beg and it stresses me out. Honestly, if you go onto TikTok and you type in his name, so many clips come up. There's actually one of him arguing with the police. There was one video where he phoned a newspaper, the Daily Mail, and threatened legal action against them because they wrote a story about him.
Hi, my name's John Shields. You posted an article about me this morning submitted by a prominent liar, Jack Johnson, and I've since threatened legal action due to defamation of character and misinformation, complete and utter total lies, which you've posted this morning. Can I get an update on whether that article's going to get taken down or should I take that further with my lawyer?
It sounds like you need to make a complaint to us, but to do that you need to email it in.
It sounds like I need to speak to your superior because this is a potentially.
Yeah, so to do that you need to send in an email.
I'm not going to send in an email. I am going to take legal action through my lawyer. No. I am going to take legal action through my.
I could make a full-length video on him if I sat down and went through every single video on TikTok. So if that's something that you would like to see, please let me know and I'll provide. I probably will end up doing it. It's me. Of course I will. Any Scottish degenerate I'm making a video about. So the third person on our list is also a TikTok star, Scottish Declan. Now, I would just like to clarify that Scottish Declan, also known as Declan Green, is not a degenerate in terms of someone who constantly gets into trouble with the law, or is like constantly involved in like crazy controversies. Now, what he's most known for is setting up his camera, filming himself dancing in very there 100%, and he does have a lot of supporters and people in his comment sections bigging him up. But if you're going to film yourself doing TikTok dances in public, especially in Scotland, you're going to get a lot of trolls and a lot of haters. One thing that he gets a lot of hate for is that he rides around on a mobility scooter that has a private plate on it, and I can't decide if that's class as fuck. Oh, I need to stop swearing, sorry, I didn't mean that. I've been told to stop swearing. Or if that's a bit mental. There was a TikTok that was posted back in January of this year where someone in a black vehicle rolls down the window and lobs a burger at Declan as he scoots down the side of what looks like a country road. He's just scooting down the road and he just gets whacked with a burger. I don't want to say funny because that's sad, but it's funny. Another thing, and the only reason that Declan has made it onto this list is because he's actually on benefits, apparently, allegedly. I did see somewhere that this was for social anxiety, which I mean, surely if he's making videos of him like dancing like that in public, then surely not. But many people are claiming benefit fraud, like that's just the main thing that he's involved in. There were so many comments and stuff under all of his TikToks, but they've all been removed. Obviously, I don't know his financial situation. It does say that he's a full-time content creator, so surely he must be making money from TikTok, so I don't know. He films like daily vlogs of him going out places and spending money and doing that, so I mean, surely if he was on benefits then he wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know. But I wouldn't have an opinion on anybody's financial situation anyway. Fuck all to do with me. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I meant shoot. He also posts TikToks and it's just screenshots of hate messages that he receives. Probably not something that should be shared, but hey ho, you do what you do. It's sort of like putting fuel on the fire. I reached out to Declan to see if he'd be willing to share his opinion on the hate that he receives, but unfortunately I got no response. Fair enough, I wouldn't respond to me either. Sky Glenn. If you've been following this channel for the last few weeks, or if you're on TikTok or any social media for that matter, then you might know about the Kira Cousins situation. So I was actually the first YouTuber to ever cover it, as I did it quite quick, the exact same day. But there's tons of other creators who have done the same, and you can check out their parts if you're interested in the story. Now sadly, she's not the only person from Scotland who's ever faked a pregnancy. There's tons. And Sky Glenn is one of them. I also made a video on Erica Tiffany, who's a TikToker who wears a fake baby bump for OF content, which is just disturbing. My video on her, oh, it was weird. There's a good few comments under all of those videos from women who have shared their stories that have lost babies of their own, and it completely breaks my heart knowing that there's truly evil people out there who would fake this sort of thing. Those people are the lowest of the low. And if you yourself are one of those people who have unfortunately lost their little one, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I can't even imagine the heartbreak. So I've linked some charities in I have linked some charities in the description below if you would like to donate or do what you can to spread awareness. Now, I was reached out to by a follower of mine on Instagram who shared a link to this story. So I would like to say a big thank you to John Woodcock. John actually streams on Twitch if you'd like to go and check him out. I always appreciate you guys reaching out to me and it's so nice to speak to you all, honestly. So, according to this exposed group on Facebook, Sky Glenn is a young woman from Dundee, and back in 2022 she fell pregnant and lost a baby. And instead of telling people that she lost the baby, she kept up the act that she was still pregnant. Now, when it came to hospital appointments and scans, she would have her boyfriend wait in the reception, and she would tell him that he was unable to come in due to COVID restrictions. So she would disappear for a short amount of time and come back with a scan in hand. Now, these scans were very clearly not real, and they were actually purchased online where you can personalise them. Now, it's said that Sky used to work in the hospital as a healthcare assistant, so she had access to the ultrasound covers, which had the NHS logo on them, obviously to make them look more real. So Sky actually went on to have a gender reveal, and she purchased one of those scratch-off cards with the gender on it that she'd picked, again, knowing that she was not pregnant. As well, she had a baby shower, she took gifts and money from all of her friends and family. She had all of the baby's things set up and ready for arriving. But instead of purchasing a fake baby bump to wear to give the impression that she was pregnant, what she did was she did everything she could to put on more weight so that nobody would pick up on it. So Sky only got caught because she was booked in for an induction that supposedly kept getting pushed back. Nobody questioned this because she wasn't like massively overdue. However, once she passed the 42-week mark, that's when her friends and family became concerned and were like, wait a minute, something's up here. Like, why were the hospital leaving her to go so overdue, possibly risking harm to the baby? So she had to come clean, of course, and admit that there was no baby in the first place. As you can imagine, her family and friends at the time were absolutely heartbroken and distraught, thinking that they were going to welcome a new baby, only to find out that they were being lied to the whole time. And she gave no explanation either. Now, another really fucked up thing that she did was after she moved on to another relationship and they were supposed to go on holiday with his parents, but once they got to the airport, Sky claimed that she forgot her passport, so she encouraged them to get on the flight. She would go home, get her passport and then meet them after she got the next flight. But when the family tried to scan their boarding passes, they wouldn't work. So as it turns out, Sky actually faked the documents and there was actually no booking like at all for this holiday. So she actually stole the money from his parents and ran. All that we know about her now is that she's currently engaged and is just casually moving on with her life whilst everyone else in her life suffers because of what she did. I did have a look earlier and I can see her Facebook page is now live again. It was taken down when this all came out, but it's back up for some reason. Now, the next case is a really important one to talk about, especially for us women. Addie A Game. I was reached out to from a lovely woman on Instagram who seemed very keen to share her story with an awful predator who likes to refer to himself as a dating coach when really he's just a really creepy pickup artist. Now, the victim in this case has wished to be kept anonymous, but she's given me permission to share a voice note that she sent me all about the situation. So I'm going to play the voice note and then I'll dive into my investigation.
I'm just going to send a voice note because it's so long-winded. So this actually came to light in 2019. I was only 18 at the time when he approached me in 2016. His name is Adnan Ahmed, or Addie A Game. BBC actually covered quite a lot about this case, and they actually had Miles Bonner, the journalist, go undercover for BBC Disclosure to basically oust this ring called The Game. The point of the game is to sleep with as many women as you can in one day, having unprotected sex. But the methods that they taught these men and would charge men to join these courses was using languages like, if a woman shows resistance, stand right in front of her and basically just keep going, be persistent. This Adnan Ahmed actually drugged some females. I think there was around 20 of us in total, and only 5 of us got a conviction for our case. I was one of them, and he unfortunately got let out from an appeal due to a technicality. I think basically the judge had made a really bad fault in the trial regarding gathering of evidence. And yeah, it's just a massive case. Now, this guy, I had to actually move out of Glasgow because I was terrified for my life and my newborn baby's life. I was up at court literally when my son was a month old. I did tell Police Scotland I don't want to give any statements, nothing. I just literally spoke to the BBC about it as a passing comment. He plastered my picture online everywhere. Everybody that was running his website that was called Dicks Will Live Forever, they basically were in contempt of court. The police didn't take me serious and stuff like that. There's a BBC article where it talks about a 21-year-old that breaks down in court, talking about how he just had pure lust in his eyes. That's actually me they're talking about, because I was explaining the situation where he followed me around Glasgow city centre for 45 minutes after I told him I was not interested in his advances. He approached me in the Buchanan shopping centre when the Fred Perry shop used to be open, and he already had his number written out and he handed it to me, so it just set alarm bells off in my head automatically. It was a very short-lived story because I just feel like there wasn't the same kind of YouTubers and people covering this kind of stuff. The only other person that really covered it was Lewis Buchan.
Now, before I talk about Adnan, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Red Pill rights. Now, this is a men's philosophical rights movement, and the term red pill comes from the Matrix. The term red pill, blue pill, and it symbolises choosing a harsh truth over a comfortable illusion. So in this context, taking the red pill signified rejecting what they view as mainstream narratives about gender equality and embracing a perspective that they believe reveals the supposed dominance of women and the victimisation of men in today's society. Basically, in simple terms, this community is a pack of alpha males who harbour resent against feminism and promote toxic and simplistic views of gender dynamics and masculinity. That was such a tongue twister, oh my god. Think Andrew Tate and his followers. So Adnan Ahmed, aka Addie A Game, is part of this community. Not only is he clearly shallow-minded, but he's also a sociopath. So he would film himself approaching women and young schoolgirls in Glasgow, trying to pick them up, and he would record this footage and post it to his YouTube channel, which has of course now been taken down. In one video, he posted an audio clip recorded during relations, and then he shows a woman sleeping with an unused Johnny rapper. next to her. So Adnan was actually outed in a video conducted by the BBC Scotland The Social, which gained over 2 million views. Within days, numerous women came out and talked about their own experiences with him. And then, in January 2019, Adnan was arrested on 5 charges of behaving in a threatening and abusive manner, on which he was found guilty and sentenced to 2 years. He was also placed on the sex offenders register for 10 years as well. So 5 women aged 16 to 21 gave evidence, including the lovely woman who reached out to me with this story. Now, unfortunately, in September of 2020, Ahmed had his convictions quashed after 3 judges actually agreed that the trial sheriff had conducted an inappropriate cross-examination of Ahmed after he gave evidence, concluding a miscarriage of justice. Women's safety is a huge issue, especially in today's world. So, our final case is from another woman who contacted me via Instagram as well. Liam McElduff. So I'll do what I usually do and I'll read out the message. So let's see, this was on Thursday. Hi Taylor, can I give you info on another degenerate that needs exposed? He is called Liam McElduff, aged 32, from Rosyth, Fife, previously done for R Word, or Tia's Tales it is on TikTok. Rocked up over 20k followers while smashing up my friend's house. She's lost everything while abroad having surgery. She's come back to her burgled home, stolen car. Landlords decided to evict her, making her homeless, and now her daughter is sadly passed in tragic circumstances. Michaela Sharp, the girl found in McDonald's toilets in Edinburgh earlier this year. It's been reported in the press now. It's a horrific story. Michaela was fooled into letting Liam into her mum's home, and it's all come to a horrendous end. He's making videos in my friend's house between February and April this year, wrecking the house. He may be in prison. Michaela's mum is called Aurora Light. Please help, we need to expose this scum. Aurora and I are in our 50s and we've been lifelong friends. All the best, lass. Love your channel. So she sent me some videos, a lot of information, and I'm going to share one of those videos pretty soon after I've done talking about it. So yeah, again, Liam McElduff is a 32-year-old wannabe influencer from Fife. He thinks he's famous, which is absolutely hilarious, and I had to sit through his TikToks for the purpose of this video, and I could not stop fucking cringing.
Namaste ladies, this one's for you. Listen, what one of you's beautiful specimens would let the bold tails take you out on a date? Listen, your old unc's been feeling a bit lonely as of recent. I've not had a bird in a good while, and that's by choice. I do get messages on here, but I patch them for some reason. But yeah, I'm looking for love, I'm looking for that passion and that fire again, guys. So, would you let the bold tails take you out on a date? Let me know. Listen, I feel like I'm a good catch, man. I'm 6 foot tall, I'm lean, I've got a 6-pack, I'm funny, I'm charismatic, I've got a cute baby face, and listen, if I'm with you, I'm all for you. Like, I'll be fully fixated on you, my eyes will be nowhere else. You don't have to worry about the bold tails creeping out and chasing other tail, because I'm that type of guy. I'm a one woman man, and that's all I can be. Like, and when I fall for someone, I fall hard and they're my everything. But listen ladies, just don't fry my nut, and certainly don't cheat on me, man, because man can go loco, and I don't like it, man. I'd rather be on a passionate one and a content one with my woman, man. That's the way I want it, guys and girls. So if you feel like you could you would date the bold tails and let me wine, dine and just show you full of romance and passion, let me know. In fact, like this video if you would let the bold tails take you out on a date. Listen ladies, I've got it all, man. And listen, I can drive, but I've not got a car yet, so even better if you've got a car, then you can drive and I can pick the date. How does that sound, ladies? That sounds like a match made in heaven, doesn't it? Let us know in the comments, ladies. In fact, like the post. I'll keep these anonymous.
He seems to think that he's the absolute shit, and he constantly refers to himself as a handsome stallion, and this, my friends and lovely viewers, is what you call an absolute weapon. I mean, surely his viewers are like only watching him for a laugh, and he doesn't care because more views equal more money, or maybe he just doesn't realise.
I got myself in a bit of trouble, guys. I said that I was coming for every beautiful female there is. Now listen, I'm a one-man woman, and I got a slap for it. She wished for a handsome stallion, and her wishes were granted. I've been released. I'm like a genie in a bottle. I've been released. Nonetheless, I smoothed things over with my charm. I've got her back at the gaff. We're having candlelight dinner, noodles for 2. What more can a beautiful bird ask for, man? on the Stallion Realms, my man. You enjoy your day. I'm about to sit down with Katrina, noodles for two, bit of Jeremy McKyle. Let's do it, Chavi.
Now, the message mentions Aurora Dawnlight, who actually made a video about the situation but had to remove it. I was sent this video and I'm going to play it here. It is around 5.5 minutes long, but it absolutely needs to be heard.
Please bear with me for one moment. I want to share my recent story of how my life has been completely destroyed by a so-called TikTok influencer, someone who claims to be enlightened and a mentor. He was a family friend from when he was 10 years old. In January, I took seriously ill with an eye condition and I shattered my jaw, resulting in having to go and receive extensive treatments and surgeries. Within this time, he latched on to my daughter and welcomed himself into my home. I was aware of this and I accepted him, but he ransacked my home and decided to use it as a TikTok expedition. Everything in my house is trashed. He resulted in me getting evicted while I was overseas in surgery. He stole my car and made TikToks about his new car. He stole my laptop. He stole my Tibetan singing bowl. He smashed my house up. He was smoking drugs. He had his dog, which was all banned and not permitted in my rented home, which was my home and my dream to be. He resulted in me coming back and being homeless, with no possessions because everything is being violated. He has been through every single one of my possessions, every drawer under my bed and every box. He's bragging while smashing my house up. He's bragging while riding like he's on high on cocaine on my grandchildren's rocking horse. Within the week of losing my house and returning the key, the police then informed me that my daughter that he latched onto, that he claims is misunderstood, was found dead in McDonald's toilets. All of this could have been prevented if this man had shown one piece of respect. His name is Tia's Tales. His name is Liam McElduff. He has a great following, and this man must be made aware. He's a convicted rapist. He's served time for rape that he claims he's innocent. But we know. As I've been evicted and my daughter been evicted and made homeless, he then latches on, sends my mum messages, and very creepy hitting on her too. This man can never be trusted. And I want everyone to know exactly what he's done. He has taken my hopes, my dreams, and my daughter. My grandchildren will never see their mother. I will never hug my daughter. He turned on my daughter after making us homeless and told her to watch her back. She went into hiding, all because of Tia's Tales, Liam McElduff. We had to have a private funeral because he's on TikTok saying he will be attending. We had to make that private so that he could not attend while we are grieving. Please, if you know him, raise awareness. His family have disowned him for many years, and I can see clearly why. He's using false identity with his brother, trying to get false papers also. I have evidence of that. Liam McElduff, shame on you, and your karma is now upon you. and I will make it my duty to reach every single person in your following to let them know what you are, what you do. So with the HP laptop and my JHD hairdryer, with my Tibetan singing bowl, I will pay the price, as well as the fines and penalties that you made on my car, that you can't even pay for the petrol without running off and stealing that also. Please name and shame this man. He is a danger, a liar and a thief, and he can never be trusted. Thank you.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about Michaela Sharp. I actually read an article about her just the other day and was saddened by her story. This was before I was actually reached out to. So, in the early hours of June 14th, 2025, Michaela was sadly found deceased in the bathroom of a McDonald's in Edinburgh. She wasn't actually found until what was believed to be around 6 hours later. I can't imagine the pain and the heartbreak that Michaela's mum Aurora must be feeling right now. And I know that Aurora is aware of this video. So if you're watching, I want to share my deepest condolences. I want to ask absolutely every single person that's watching to keep Michaela, Aurora and their family in your thoughts and prayers. Right, so I'm currently editing this video, right, and I feel the need to interrupt to highlight this comment because oh, what the actual fuck. I actually can't stop giggling, that's so fucking funny. So I make these videos on Scottish Degenerates, not only for entertainment purposes, but also to raise awareness about these sorts of people, because these degenerates, they might give us a good laugh, but it's also important to remember that they ruin lives. David Hillhouse. This one is just beyond disgusting. So David Hillhouse is a former care worker who was convicted of SA on 3 elderly residents of the care home that he worked in. The 32-year-old man from the Glasgow area preyed upon 3 vulnerable men aged 92, 71 and 66 between 2017 and 2022. He was only caught when one of his victims appeared visibly stressed when David came anywhere near him and indicated to family members about what was going on. There was one incident that I find so disturbing. So one time a nurse went into a resident's room and witnessed David essaying him as he lay on his bed. A further assault was witnessed by another colleague during a care demonstration. How nothing was done about this, I will genuinely never understand. It was reported that one colleague was actually bullied out of the care home after sharing her concerns and confronting David about his disgusting actions. One of the victim's granddaughters described her relative as being extremely upset, and they would break down when recounting the abuse sustained by what was supposed to be a trusted caregiver. David was charged and found guilty of sexual assault and ill treatment, which is scary because he worked there for a period of over 5 years, so who knows how many victims he really had. Honestly, these degenerate stories make me feel violent, and that's coming from a 21-year-old who is built like a long stick. That's a really weird way to describe myself, but hey ho, I'm sticking by it, it's true. Honestly, there's a very special place in hell for those who use their power to abuse those who are vulnerable, especially elders and young children. Abigail Kick. I'm going to call her Kick. I don't even know how to pronounce that last name, but I couldn't care less because this is a vile human being. So, back in 2020 to 2021, 27-year-old Abigail, I'm not even going to bother with that last name, from Alloa was arrested for SAing a 2-year-old child, and get this, taking photos and videos which she sold online to PDF files for money. I don't think you can get any worse than this, honestly. During the abuse, it was reported that Abigail performed a sex act on herself and then exposed herself to the young girl. So she used the social networking sites Kik and Messenger to distribute the images and videos to those who requested them. She was caught with 69 indecent images. Oh my god, that is a fucking terrible number. That is a terrible number. Anyways, I'm going to try that again because that's not appropriate. She was caught with 69 indecent images with her victim, and she appeared in 11 of those. One video, which was around 1 minute and 58 seconds long, showcased both herself and the child completely naked, and one user known as Hollow asked her to perform sexual acts on the child. Other images found online were shown... No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Other images found showed other children as young as 3 or 4 years old. I cannot speak. It was revealed that the user, known as Hollow, has been identified as a 43-year-old man named Gary Smith, who's from Wigan. He's actually been jailed for other sexual offences, including one from his conversations with Abigail. What's disgusting as well is her excuse for the whole ordeal, right? She claimed that she was unemployed and in debt. She'd been self-isolating and was struggling, having no human contact other than through her phone messages. And so she exploited an innocent child, and well, 2 other children as well, in order to make a quick buck. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to a 6-year custodial sentence and was placed on the offenders register. William Earnshaw. I'm going to play a little clip here.
Yes, I'm gone.
Where are you gone?
Leave me alone.
You're gone. Where are you gone? Where are you going? Nobody touched them, guys. Nobody's touched them.
Honestly, when I saw that for the first time, I thought, what the actual fuck? And then I realised what the actual story was. So this was from a sting operation from back in May of 2022, in which William Earnshaw from the Glasgow area was arrested for online grooming, in which he believed he was talking to 3 14-year-olds, making attempts to meet up with them as well. Now, those were decoys, and the sting team then confronted William at home in Glasgow, and they recorded the entire thing. And I have this footage, which I'll play.
Okay. Right, so...
Someone's turned up at his flat, accusing him of grooming children. And it's not true.
Well, what I'm here for is...
Yes.
You've been online, and you have been adding kids on Facebook.
No, I've not.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Yes,
I've not been
and
on
I can assure you, you have.
You've
not been on. You've been on Messenger.
No.
Listen, I don't know why your partner's getting upset. I'm here myself.
No.
You've not. Is your name William Earnshaw?
Yes, but people's hacked into my account.
Right. Okay. Somebody hacked into your account.
Yes.
Oh, did they? Right. Okay.
I don't go on it.
All right.
Because I get a lot of bother.
Please.
Excuse me, nobody's here to hurt you.
No.
So I don't know why you're acting like that.
No. There is.
How is that? I'm standing here.
Aye.
You can see me.
But
Can you see me? Can you see me?
Right.
Can you see me?
No. Just wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute.
Wait a
No,
minute.
you wait a minute. You've been
Wait a
online
minute.
sexually grooming. No.
I've not.
You're not?
No.
No, okay. So how come I've got your name?
Because people hacked into my account.
Somebody hacked your account. Well, William, I'm not here to cause you any harm.
No. Get out.
No, he's got to stay here with me.
No.
For the simple fact being that you are shouting at me.
Your partner let us in, she's just going
Aye.
to calm down.
But
Your
she
partner
just
allowed us in.
me.
You have been sexually grooming
No,
kids.
I've not.
So how have you been harassing a girl, telling her to say that you love her?
No,
Tell
I've
her you
not.
love her. What about how you were wanting to fuck her?
No.
Yeah, you did.
There's people saying
Excuse
that.
me, get your hand away from me. Don't point at me.
You don't need
There's people
He
saying
doesn't need
that.
it. Do you
And
think
we
your kids
use
need it,
videos.
like? Do you actually think our kids need it? This is for your
Right,
safety.
out.
Calm down.
Out.
Your partner invited
No.
us in.
Out.
Well, you weren't that bad because you've stood up, no problem.
Aye.
You've stood up, no
I'm
problem,
not even
William.
walking.
Well, what
Out.
I want to speak to you about.
Show your hip.
Listen.
What's that?
I'm not interested, to be honest with you, about that. I'm only here to ask you a question, William.
Get out.
Calm down.
Fucking down now.
Get him away from that camera.
No, that's for my safety.
I'll tell you what, right, the day in here, we'll go outside.
Listen, William, we're not here to harm you.
Yeah.
Okay? We aren't there.
Accusing me.
I'm only speaking to you.
What?
That's your partner. We're only here to speak to you.
Move. I'm going. No. I'm gone. Accusing me.
Because you've been sexually grooming. You've been sexually grooming.
No, I'm fucking not.
Don't swear at me, I'm not swearing at you.
Can you get this through your head?
Can you get it through your head
People's hacking into my account.
that people's hacking your account?
Yes.
Right, okay, who?
Other guys.
Who?
was after me.
Other people who's after you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, can the decoy phone his phone, please?
I've not even done anything. See?
Go and sit down and calm yourself down.
Move.
Go and calm down and sit down.
Move.
Go and sit down.
No. Move. Help.
Help!
What the fucking shout for help for?
Can hear what you've been doing.
Help!
I want your neighbours to hear
You
what
want
you've
the
said.
neighbours to hear, actually hear what you've been
I
saying.
need help!
Let him go.
No, I've
Do you
not
want the
even done
neighbours?
anything.
Do you want the neighbours to hear what you're saying?
I've not even fucking done anything.
I've had a girl
Her hen.
text me on Facebook.
Because it was me.
Say that again, hen.
No.
Sorry,
My
you're right.
fucking, no,
Are you okay?
no, my fucking anxiety's gone to the roof.
Listen, hold on a minute. Listen, hi. Excuse me, William.
Have you fucking done anything?
Well, what are you shouting for then if you've not done anything?
I'm getting my mum up.
You're getting your what? What are you getting?
My mum up here.
Your mum? You think your mum's got to help you?
Yeah?
You've been sexually grooming kids.
Don't talk.
You said to a girl that you would pick her up. Look at the state you did. You also said that you wanted to fuck her.
No, I never.
Yes, you did.
Don't
You also
talk
said
rubbish.
to her. You also stated to her that
Right.
you.
I'm gone.
Where are you
Just
gone?
leave me alone.
You're gone. Where are you gone? Where are you going? Nobody touched them, guys. Nobody's touched them. So I don't know what you're like. I suggest you maybe sit down, William.
I think you better sit down.
Sit down, William.
Sympathy's not going to work.
You need to stop him. You need
Right,
to stop him
stop
to
him
do
to go to that door. Shut the door, Rod. Shut that door.
William.
Well,
William, mate, now, calm down. Can you let him sit down or something? Let him be. Just sit there now. William, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, but don't forget, that woman sent me a picture of you saying you're
It wasn't you.
girl.
It wasn't you.
Keep it up.
I want out.
No, wait a wee second.
Stop.
Wait, now
I want
speak to
out.
your partner.
I want
Speak to your
out.
partner. What did you just say?
It wasn't me.
Right, okay.
I got a message from a girl called Emily on
No,
Facebook Messenger.
Didn't say.
And he sent a video of his penis to her.
No.
What age is she?
I don't know.
What age was she, William? So you.
I don't know.
So, he sent a picture of his penis.
Did you phone my mum? I want my mum.
William, you've been grooming seven.
No!
Who you fucking shouting at? Don't shout at me! I'm not the man that's grooming kids!
Money.
I'm trying to get over your mum.
Money. Hurry up before I do something.
God almighty, how many fucking doors is in this house? Oh, sorry.
Hurry up before I do something.
go and
Your
sit
knees?
down then.
Oh, sit down!
Sit down. Go and
Sit down!
My knees.
Go and sit down there.
Sit down!
I need to go in.
No, you don't! Listen to me!
Go and
You
sit
go out
down.
there, there's people that's got to see you.
Go and sit down.
Just sit down, William, keep calm. Just sit down and see all your pathetic great and how do you think it makes your kids feel? Just have a seat. You've not been doing anything. Right, can I ask you something? Did you ask a wee lassie to be your that you would be her boyfriend?
No.
Did you ask a wee lassie you would go and pick her up?
No.
Did you ask a wee lassie to fuck her?
No.
No one?
I swear to
How many
God,
kids are you
like,
speaking to online?
No one.
Show me a messenger.
I've needed
Show me a
to
messenger.
What? There's
Who's phoning your phone?
someone for what? Her?
Alright, don't answer it.
Eh?
Answer it.
No.
How no?
I don't
Because that's a
even know.
child that you've been speaking to.
Dog, no.
Yes, it is.
Don't talk.
That's a child.
That's my partner.
Don't come near me. Don't dare come in here.
Help!
Ah, you just attract attention.
I want outside.
You want outside to come and get
I
you?
want outside.
Listen, William.
Go and sit down.
William, just sit down, please.
William.
Can I get my mum?
Can I get my mum? How do you think your kids feel? How do you think your kids feel when they want their mums but they can't get their mums? They can't get their mums.
What about a child? What about one of the... Wait a minute, please, Martin. What about one of the children that you actually asked her if her mum was single? Would she be your stepdaughter? Would she love it? What about that child? Wow.
Sit down.
Sorry.
Move. Sit down. Right now. Move back up there.
Just go up there.
Up there.
Just go up there and have a seat, William. Calm down. Just calm down, please.
I'm going to take a tablet.
No, you're not. William,
William,
sorry about this. Can you please just sit down and stop your pathetic fucking kid on bleeding Disney wash with me?
Acting like a drama queen. Sit down. Shut up. Screaming like a wayne. Move. Sit down. Calm down and sit down. Enough. Nobody's going to help you outside. You're the one that's making a scene and everything.
I know, Norma, thank you. Guys, show the love for all the decoys and flavoured enforcers, by the way. Absolutely amazing, Jack. William, get away from your phone. You wouldn't answer the phone to the child, would you? No. Oh, you're phoning your mum. What about the kids you've been grooming? There's 7 decoys on his cunt, by the way, guys. 7 decoys on him. 13 and 14, I believe, if I've got that wrong, I do apologize. You were asking a child to fuck her. Yes, you did. Your pathetic fucking tears don't wash with me, did you hear me? Your pathetic tears, your kid on tears, you've got dry eyes, mate. You've got dry eyes. You're not my mate, but you've got dry eyes. I have. What, just help her? You've got fucking dry eyes. There's not a single tear came out your eye. You've been sexually grooming kids online. One of them's just phoned you and you wouldn't answer the phone to her.
Mom!
Just help her. Okay, touch. Thanks, Paul. You've been sexually fucking grooming kids online. Now you're going to sit there and kid on that you're greeting to me. Me, awful. Are you off your fucking head? You've been sexually... Listen, see this pish? See you sitting, help, help. How do you think your veins feel? How do you think they feel? When you've been sexually grooming them, want to fuck them, want to meet them. Will you be my stepdaughter?
Mom!
She hang up on you, did she?
No.
She hang up on you? You've got...
Mom! Can you... Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, did you? So why were you sending kids' friends requests on Facebook? You did, William. You did. William, you did. Face it.
Hello! What? Help, I've been locked in the house.
I've been locked in the house. He's not locked in the fucking house. Calm down. Hey, mate. Sorry, guys. Please fucking do my not in, by the way. Yeah, I'm locked in the fucking house. Give me a minute. Oh, fuck. The carpet and everything. Fuck's sake. Is she okay?
The phone!
This is what happens when you sexually groom kids. This is what happens. Are you okay, hen? You okay? Alright, look. Near the butt? Alright. There my fucking butt. Oh, I'm running to the bastard and juice now. The woman's went all dry, fucking washing the people. Nobody's bullying you, William. Can you get that juice, please, for his partner?
Please hurry up.
I'm just trying and fucking this. Cheers, Paul. William.
What? There's the police, hurry up!
There's the police, is it?
He's in the house!
Right there?
There's the police.
Good.
Outside, but she's not coming in! Help!
Fuck. Norman, I'm really sorry about this one, but... However, Norman, massive love to the decoys on this case.
Help me, please. I'm no well.
It's absolutely locked it.
No, the police are here.
Huh? Aye, exactly, I know. They always get me. Yep, definitely. Guys, I'm really sure it didn't go as good as what we would have expected, but
I'm actually sure the cunt could get a job for BBC being an actor. He was very played, wasn't he? Guys, so it's 7 decoys for Fleetwood Enforcers. Can we please show the love to the decoys? Normie, Candy, Lizzie, Luna. Sorry, I don't know all your names. I do apologise, guys. I'm really sorry I put my...
About time? Ah, well, that's it.
About time? Well. It's also been confirmed that a lady, a lassie, he sent a dick pic. Sorry, Pa, I've walked away from you. He sent a dick pic and a wanking video to a child on Facebook, which will make the police aware of this, guys. I do apologise about his fucking carry on, you know what I mean? I have got a serious throat, so I hope he's all heard me, but I busy much of a sting. I do apologise, guys. No time. Are you okay, hen? You okay? I'm sorry, guys, his partners are currently lying on the ground, breaking her heart. Somebody had informed her that he had been sexually grooming their child online. Massive love. 15 fucking decoys. 15 decoys so far, that is fucking it. And there's a real child, by the way, guys. His partner's just confirmed to us. The police are here in attendance. I'll show you so now. There's the police are there for now. I can only show you part of it, but you can see his partner's on her knees. Oh, fuck's sake, I've no bit of mask on. Let's move me. What that do?
That's another.
Yeah?
That's another behind you.
Hello.
Bear with us, don't guys?
Mags hasn't got a mask
Mags
on,
is,
fucking usual.
Mags has been on the cover.
Mags hasn't got a fucking mask on, guys, so I had to put my mask on there. So, anyway, this is William Earnshaw of Kirkintilloch, who's been sexually grooming. There is, did I see 15 fucking
15
decoys?
decoys on them.
15 decoys, guys. I was scared for the team. He's a fucking fruitcake.
You see him throwing yourself down on the floor?
Aye, throwing yourself
That
down.
was dramatic.
I'm glad I caught it on camera. Look at them all. Look, oh, calm down, William. Calm down, William. I'm fucking sure I'll light you up, since you're obviously protecting bastards, doesn't want me. Here we go. Show them the famous, like fucking. Show them the famous standing by him. Show their fucking faces, light them fucking up. Sorry, guys, about my voice. Fucking light them up. Light that fame up. Fucking beastly protectors. Fucking can't stand beast people. Put the camera down. Right. Guys, I will need to cut this feed at the moment because I need to go and speak to the police. Give me a second, guys, and I will be straight.
In December 2022, William submitted a guilty plea and he was ultimately sentenced to a 3-year community payback order and a 5-year sexual harm prevention order. Both punishments that I don't think are good enough for this type of degenerate. Sheila Marshall. So Sheila Marshall is a 39-year-old woman from Fife who's also on TikTok. Now, whenever I do a Degenerates video and I mention TikTok, you know how it's going to be. Now, I'd never heard of her before, but according to this lovely lady who sent the suggestion in, she's a wrong one. And she hangs around and goes with beasts, aka predators, for my non-Scottish viewers. So, the first thing that I did was I typed her name into Google, and a few things came up. Now, first, there was an article from GB News from August of 2024 titled "Neighbour from Hell Banned from Accessing Her Own House After Complaints from Next Door." Now, looking at this title, I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, it must have been really bad for her to get kicked out of her own house. So, Sheila went to court after she breached her ASBO, which is also known as an antisocial behaviour warrant, where she was told to hand her house keys into the police station. So she admitted to breaching the order by playing loud music, shouting and behaving in a manner likely to cause distress or alarm towards others. I also found another article from the Dunfermline Press. Now, it was one of those ones that you have to subscribe to read the full thing, and I could not be fucking honest with that. But from what I gathered, Sheila and her partner got into a fight whilst in a line at a local pharmacy, and she kicked him. That's pretty much all I got. Next, I found a video that was posted on Red Rose UK's Facebook page. Now, if you don't know who Red Rose UK are, it's a large public database of abusers and offenders, yes, all kinds of abusers, and they pretty much expose them, like how I use my channel to expose them as well, pretty much. Now, this video is a screen recording from one of Sheila's TikTok live streams, and I cannot lie, I cannot make out a fucking thing she's saying. But I do know that she's trying to protect her man, who is a predator.
Video, does that make him a fucking pedophile? Does that make him a beast? Does that make him a beast? No, fucking doesn't make him a beast. What makes people a beast is raping people. There you go then. Why didn't you not stand on me today and then get satisfied on me fucking car, huh? You, we want fucking car. I'm gonna fuck her, I'm gonna fuck her. When the day does that make him a beast? It's 240 and lots like us. And a 2-minute video could you fucking have TVs and put that car and he's the nervous breakdown. And I blame myself because I take him every time. My fault, not yours, and it's my fault when you're on the same offenders list. It's my fault. Fuck it, Donald.
Like, surely she must have been on something for real. Like, I also saw somewhere that apparently she has kids, and I mean, if she's associating herself with beasts, I sure as hell hope the fuck not.
They outed me, and fucking outed me and my fucking past. Sick. No good. Bad. That's fucking bad. See now, right? See last night, I got outed, right? I got fucking totally outed, right? And see now, I don't want to be here. I've cut on my wrist. I don't want to be here. Why should I be here? You just told me to fuck. And 1K person was fucking part of that. And that's made me my fucking family. Wrong.
Now, the final thing that I did was I searched for her name on TikTok, and what I found was mad. I mean, sitting on a live stream and saying that is just insane. I also found out that she dated Sam Craig, who is a known beast in the Dunfermline area. I need to stop saying beast, predator. Yeah. He was actually jailed for 14 weeks after he was caught following young girls around at a shopping centre in Fife and filming them. His TikToks also came up, and they are cringy as fuck.
We were just kids when we first.
Never been more in love than I am right now. What the fuck? See, if anyone ever made a TikTok like that about me, I'd actually drop off the face of the earth, and I know that my girlfriend is watching this right now, so don't get any ideas, sweet cheeks, or you'll be sleeping in the shed. That's all I've got to say on the matter. It's also reported that she was with Gary Rankin at one point, who was actually convicted of rape. Jeezy peeps, man. I'm just going to move on to the next one. Thank you to the lovely woman who sent this one in. I know that you've been waiting quite a while for me to cover, Sheila, but yeah, thanks again. Shirley and Hannah Crowell. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not 100% sure. So this one actually came up on my Facebook feed, but one of my viewers sent it in beforehand. Now, Shirley and Hannah are a mother and daughter duo from Galashiels, and they were blasted all over the internet for sharing deeply disturbing content online, which included like extremist content. So the pair praised Hitler. They posted like anti-Semitic, racist, transphobic, homophobic material. They are the lowest of the low, like the worst type of scum that's out there. What I found quite funny is that, right, apparently they're Holocaust deniers, but they were online calling for another Holocaust. I don't know where these two went to school, but holy fuck. Like, I really hope they have access to books in prison, because they're gonna fucking need them. So Shirley, aged 51, and her daughter Hannah, aged 27, were like active members on extremist right-wing groups, like white supremacy groups online, and they would post things claiming like Hitler was trying to save us, and the need for a new Holocaust is never more urgent than now. Those are direct quotes. They also described those of a different race other than white as a different species, which is just so utterly disgusting. They also often used the N-word, and as well Hannah, who used the online persona Hannah Hitler, called Jewish People the Devil's Children, and she wrote on a chat site, "I am disappointed Hitler never killed 6 million, even though there wasn't that many Jews at that time." And they also claimed that Jews were responsible for 9/11 and the COVID pandemic. According to court documents, yesterday, being the 6th of January 2026, the duo pled guilty to hate crime offences. So Shirley Crowell was sentenced to 20 months behind bars, and Hannah Crowell was sentenced to 16 months behind bars. Plenty of time to educate themselves, I reckon. Sohail Ahmed. Now, one thing that I absolutely love, not just because I'm a nosy bastard, is, you know, those exposed pages on Facebook? I've gotten a few good degenerates for my videos from them, including Sohail Ahmed. So this was posted on the 17th of December 2025, and it exposes the dirty vile predator that he is. Now, Sohail Ahmed is a 52-year-old man from the Glasgow area, and back in August of 2023, police appeared at his property after he abducted and essayed a woman, trying to hide her in his flat. This was not his first victim, however. It was back in December of 2022. Ahmed took his first victim to the flat and essayed her while preventing her from leaving. The police were made aware of the second victim when her friend became concerned for her whereabouts and contacted them. Now, when officers attended the scene, Sohail claimed that he was alone, but luckily the officers didn't give up and they managed to find the woman, who was unconscious and hiding under a bed. No, she wasn't hiding, she was hidden under a bed, sorry. Crucial CCTV footage proved that the victim had entered the property but didn't leave. It was also reported that he's a former teacher, which is also terrifying. Now, he was found guilty after appearing at the High Court in Glasgow on the 3rd of March 2025, and he was sentenced to a minimum of 9 years imprisonment, and he was also given non-harassment orders in respect of his victims, and he was placed on the offenders register as well. Thomas Craig. I don't know about you guys, right, but there is absolutely nothing worse in this world than the very last train home from Glasgow Central on a Saturday night. First of all, you can't move for all the fucking people. I mean, there's a group of drunk lads singing, some junkies having a domestic, fucking somebody with half a kebab doing them, which is usually me, I can't lie, I'm kidding. And, the young team just causing trouble. It's a nightmare. I mean, I just hate trains in general. I'd rather get a taxi back home at 4 o'clock in the morning, thank you very much. I mean, I don't even go out on nights out. My last night out was Halloween, and I wasn't even drinking, I drove. But, you get my point. Well, on the 16th of February 2024, passengers were travelling on a train from Glasgow Queen Street to Perth, including 48-year-old Thomas Craig. Now, he'd been drinking during the day and had cocaine in his system, so it's no surprise whatsoever that he committed a horrendous act during the train service, and the whole thing was caught on CCTV. Now, it's reported that Thomas Craig had a minor disagreement with a fellow passenger named Glenn Lennon and another man named Aaron Nelson. Now, the footage shows Thomas leaping from his seat, armed with a glass bottle, which looks like Buckfast. You know, this is actually the second time on this channel that I've spoken about someone getting bottled with a bottle of Buckfast. Anyways, the victim, 22-year-old Aaron Nelson, was struck over the head, and he tried to escape down the train carriage, where he was struck again, causing the bottle to break. So Glenn Lennon then tried to step in, but he was actually stabbed multiple times near the heart with the broken bottle. His injuries included a collapsed lung and a severed artery, so you can imagine how brutal this attack was. Thomas Craig then goes back to the back of the train carriage in one of the back seats and changes into a clean hoodie. This is just so unsettling. He also tried to kick his way off the train, kicking through the door, according to court documents. Police and paramedics then met the train at Larbert railway station, where the victims were both taken to the hospital and Thomas was arrested. So he was convicted at the High Court in Glasgow on the 28th of November 2025 of assault to severe injury, permanent disfigurement and danger of life, and attempted murder. So his sentencing took place on the 12th of January 2026, not long ago, and he received 12 years imprisonment and 3 years probation. Charles Morrison. At 90 years old, Charles Morrison of Cumbernauld is believed to be Scotland's oldest domestic abuser. So he made an appearance in court in October of 2024 after being accused of abusing his wife over a period of more than 5 years. So he was accused of shoving her onto a bed and restraining her, acting aggressively towards her, shouting, swearing, making derogatory comments, pushing her into a chair and putting his hands around her throat, choking her. It was reported that his wife, Catherine, has significant health issues, so she was unable to attend court to give evidence towards the case. She did make it very clear to the Procurator Fiscal that she supported the non-harassment order that was being put in place. Now, Charles pled guilty, but he actually escaped any jail time. Sheriff Tony McGlennon took his age into account and the fact that he'd never offended before. Instead, he was given a community payback order with supervision. He was also ordered not to contact Catherine or enter the street where she lives for a year. Now, there's a lot of comments under this Facebook post suggesting that he may have early onset dementia or Alzheimer's if the abuse just suddenly came on, whereas others just call him a bully. One comment reads, "The poor woman has no doubt had a lifetime of his abusive behaviour. Age shouldn't be a barrier. If he's fit enough to hurt her, he's fit enough to be incarcerated." Domestic abuse can happen to and come from anyone. Now, I'm a 4th year uni student and I'm currently writing my dissertation on the challenges of prosecuting domestic abuse within same-sex relationships. Now, as a victim of domestic violence once myself, believe me, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So I'm researching into why our justice system fails victims, exactly like it did in this case. Yes, he may have gotten a small punishment, but his wife has to live the rest of her life with the impact of what he did. Now, it takes so much courage to come forward, especially when it's against your own partner. I remember exactly how it felt, and my experience has had a lasting impact on my life and my mental health. So my thoughts and prayers go towards Catherine. I hope that she has some peace now that she's out of that horrible situation. Now, I plan on doing a deep dive video into domestic abuse once I have completed my dissertation and gotten my degree, so that I can share my findings, but that will be in the summertime. Sharon and Charles Hughes. There's 3 types of people in this world that I cannot stand, and that's predators, domestic abusers and child abusers. These are the most evil types of people, and there's a special place in hell for them. Now, this couple from Paisley spent 21 years raining terror on their daughters. So they beat and they starved their kids. One of the kids was once repeatedly spun around the room by her hair and hit repeatedly with a belt. Now, the youngest daughter was also strangled and dragged along the ground by her hair. Sharon Hughes, aged 48, would dig her nails into their skin. What is absolutely heartbreaking is that in this article written by The Sun, it reports that the kids would run away and hide to avoid the abuse, which they believed to be normal growing up. The victims are now adults. I think it was at age 27 and 31, I think they are now, but the eldest of the daughters reported that she was regularly punched, slapped and kicked between 2000 and 2008. Now, the younger victim also reported that she was regularly struck, punched, kicked, scratched, grabbed and dragged by her hair by her own mother. Now, besides the harsh physical abuse, they were also neglected, as they were not provided adequate food and clothing, and they were also prevented from washing it sometimes. Imagine that. That's like me being like, "Oh, Mum, I'm going to go for a shower," and her being like, "No." Well, obviously it's not quite like that. It's not like that, but you know what I mean. That's just nuts. That's crazy to me, how somebody can do that. It's disgusting. So they both pled not guilty at Paisley Sheriff Court, denying that they had ever mistreated their kids. Sheriff Gillian Craig said, "The abuse was so regular and prolific, I can't do justice to it. It was 6 nights out of 7. You have shown no empathy for your daughters. The attacks were repeated and sustained. Only a custodial sentence is appropriate." Sharon Hughes was jailed for 4 years and Charles Hughes was jailed for 3 years. They were also subject to a non-harassment order banning them from contacting their children for 10 years. Graham Dale. A carer at Daldorch I don't know how to pronounce it, house, which is a supported living service for children and young people living with autism spectrum disorder, located in East Ayrshire. So he was discovered abusing residents. So in one incident which took place on the 26th of July 2024, Graham Dale held a boiling kettle over a resident's head and told them to open their mouths. He was also found to have repeatedly laughed at, ridiculed and swore at the resident. He also intimidated them and made it as if he was going to punch the resident, going like that. And he would remove food from them, and he would force the resident to pick up food as well. Now, on the 27th of May 2025, Graham Dale was convicted of behaving in a threatening and abusive manner at Ayr Sheriff Court. Now, it doesn't look like he's been sentenced as of yet, but the sheriff stated that Graham Dale showed absolutely no remorse for his actions and never made an apology either. Now, it's absolutely disgusting, the fact that someone who's supposed to be a care professional would commit such horrible acts against a vulnerable individual. Now, this was a place where this individual was supposed to feel safe. My heart goes out to the victim, who's only known as AA. I hope that they're able to rebuild and heal from this experience. Amelia Connolly. So 23-year-old Amelia Connolly is an activist who was involved with the Young Scots for Independence, which is a youth wing of the Scottish National Party, as well as Gay Pride and the Scottish branch of Young European Movement. Now, upon doing my research, I actually learned that this girl went to my uni. Now, I could have sworn that I'd seen her face somewhere before, and it turns out that she was part of the LGBTQ plus society, so I've definitely seen her around. Now, the reason that she is on this list is because on the 30th of October 2024, Amelia used an AI generation software to create indecent images of children. Now, 4 images were created, which appeared to be a child's face on an adult body, posed in suggestive posing. Now, 3 of the images were rated as category B, and 1 image was rated as category C. Now, category B is the middle rating, A is the most serious, and C is the least serious. Now, Amelia actually pled guilty to making indecent pseudo-photographs of children, contrary to the 1982 Civic Government Scotland Act. However, her sentencing has been deferred until the 1st of May. Andrew McLaughlin. So this is Andrew McLaughlin. Now, he is a 40-year-old man from Port Glasgow, and he's currently in the news for cruelty to his dog. On the 26th of November 2024, Andrew went to the small animal hospital in Glasgow where he handed in his deceased bulldog, who was just 5 years old. Now, it was very clear that the dog was not taken care of very well. Her ribs, hips and spine were clearly visible, and there appeared to be no fat or muscle on her body. And the bulldog as well weighed just 10.5 kilograms, whereas a dog of her age, breed and size should have weighed around 23 kilograms, which is less than half of what she should have weighed. Now, the vets examined the poor dog and concluded that the dog's incredible weight loss would have occurred approximately over a period of around 6 weeks to possibly 6 to 12 months if food was acutely withheld but water was provided. They also concluded that several diseases were active in the dog at the time of her death, which may have been exacerbated by a calorie deficit. So Andrew pled guilty to a charge of causing the dog unnecessary suffering by failing to provide adequate food and water and failing to seek appropriate veterinary attention for her bodily condition, ultimately causing her death by starvation. Now, his sentence has been deferred until the 22nd of April. A Crown motion is also being considered to ban Andrew from having any animals in the future. Marie O'Gorman and Mary Maguire. So both Marie and Mary were nuns, and they were employed at the Nazareth House, which used to serve as an orphanage, but is now an elderly care home in Cordonald. Now, Marie O'Gorman was described as a disciplinarian when she began her services at the Sisters of Nazareth congregation in 1963, during which time she would instruct children with various objects such as a leather harness and leather belts. Now, one victim recalled that if she wet the bed, she would be taken to the bathroom, forced to stand in freezing bath water, and would have freezing cold water poured over her. The same victim also stated that she was once forced to wear a nappy in front of all of the other children. So Mary Maguire then joined the congregation in 1975, and she was employed at Nazareth House between 1979 and 1981. Now, just like her colleague and fellow sister, Mary was also described as a disciplinarian. When you think of scary nuns, not this nun, but these two meet the strict stereotype. Now, Mary would also strike children with belts, even for like mere incidents when one victim lost a sandal while they were out on a trip. And another girl was struck in the back of the head with a hairbrush after she was allegedly misbehaving in a chapel. I mean, when you think back, like, to that time, and I'm sure many of you watching this video will have lived in a time when, you know, it was normal to be struck by a teacher, like, in the hands with a belt, or receive, like, similar punishments, like being slapped or spanked for misbehaving, like, by parents. But times change, and this is completely unacceptable now, and is now considered to be child abuse. I mean, upon researching these homes, I came across details on how the nuns had lied to one victim, stating that her parents had passed away when they weren't. Another victim was also told that she was in that home because she was a bad child, and her mother couldn't cope with her because she was evil. Now, another victim was just 8 years old when she was SA'd repeatedly. One nun told her that the devil was inside her and held her down while the child was R-worded by a priest. Now, this happened over a 4-year period, and she was R-worded by several different men. Several other victims came forward as well from all of the different homes, and they reported abuse by priests and care assistants during their times in the homes, and they were beaten brutally if they tried to report the abuse. Georgette Ravat. This 29-year-old woman from Clydebank made headlines last month after she was jailed for a fake pregnancy scam. Now, Georgette conned a 25-year-old man out of over £6,000, whom she met online on the social platform Kik. Now, she later claimed that she was expecting his child and demanded cash to buy her silence. Otherwise, she would tell his mother. So she also asked for £250 for some items during an apparent 1 week long stay in a hospital. Now, if the man failed to comply, the woman threatened that her cousin would quote-unquote go mental and inflict violence upon him if he didn't meet her requests. Now, the man was of course frightened for his safety, and so he called the police. Now, Georgette pled guilty in May of 2025 at Glasgow Sheriff Court to extorting charges. A warrant was put out for her arrest after she failed to appear at a string of sentencing hearings. Now, she was actually arrested, of course, and sentenced to 15 months in prison with a further 6 months supervision upon her release from prison. James Neal. Now, this is where it starts to get extremely disturbing. Now, this 82-year-old grandfather from Bathgate, dubbed the Beast of Bog Hall, was convicted of serious offences against 5 schoolgirls between 1977 and 2023. Now, he used lewd, indecent behaviour against 3 victims and essayed 1 victim. Now, they were all aged between 5 and 12 at the time of the abuse. Now, his last offence, which was committed in May of 2023, resulted in him ultimately being charged. Now, the victims was 13 to 15-year-old at the time. During the trial, the first victim told the court how James had exposed himself to the young girl in his home. She stated how he repeatedly kissed her on the mouth, laid on top of her, and pressed his bits against her body. He lifted her off the ground, placing his hand under her underwear and assaulting her when she was aged between 5 and 12. Now, his second victim stated how between the ages of 7 and 10, he would repeatedly place his arms around her, kiss her on the mouth, lift her up, attempting to SA her through her underwear. And his third victim gave similar evidence from when she was between 5 and 11. Same again with the next 2 victims. Crimes against children are the most evil, deplorable thing that a person can do, and I hope that once James Neal gets sentenced at the end of this month, he rots in jail for a long time. Serenity Frances Johnston. Now, 34-year-old Serenity Johnston, a transgender female, was recently convicted of a series of attacks against young girls between November 2006 and April 2012. Now, Serenity, formerly known as David, would target young girls between the ages of 8 and 15. Now, I don't have words to describe how horrific this abuse was, but I'm sure you can imagine. Now, his first victim was aged just 9 years old when the abuse started. Now, the court heard how he would R-word several young girls. One of the most disgusting acts that one can do. This is the face of just pure evil. Pure evil. During the trial, the defence argued that Serenity had a troubled childhood and was subjected to a lot of serious bullying, which results in her now having to take medication for anxiety, which is just absolutely no excuse. There is no excuse in this world for pure evil. Now, what is disturbing as well is that the defence claims that Serenity is now in a loving relationship with a woman and has the support of family members. Like, to me, anyone who supports predators in any way are degenerates also, and they deserve to be named and shamed. Now, Serenity was sentenced to 9 years in prison, which in my opinion is absolutely nowhere near enough time for the crime committed, and was placed on the offenders register for life. Nicole Blaine. So this is Nicole Blaine, and she is a 30-year-old woman from Greenock who was very recently found guilty of one of the most horrific acts a mother could do. So, on the 14th of July 2023, a report was put into the police after a small baby had taken unwell at a residence in Greenock. Now, the baby was rushed to the Royal Hospital for Children in Glasgow, where she sadly passed away at just 19 days old. Now, Nicole claimed that she found the baby, whose name was Thea, lying on the floor, and claimed that the newborn had been dropped by another child. However, evidence suggested that Thea's injuries had been caused by blunt force trauma and possible baby shaking syndrome. Now, injuries included 2 broken ribs and 3 skull fractures. Now, a pathologist as well stated that these types of injuries were normally associated with things like a car crash, and it was pretty unlikely that these injuries were caused by another child. As well, a doctor who treated Thea described her injuries as non-survivable and stated that she had suffered extensive bruising and swelling over her head as well as scratches. What we know as well is that Nicole Blaine suffered from postpartum depression, which is a relatively common mental health condition that affects people after childbirth. Now, some studies estimate that postpartum depression occurs in roughly 10 to 15% of new mothers, although some studies suggest that that range is higher. Now, symptoms can range from persistent low moods and fatigue to feelings of detachment from the baby, severe anxiety and just difficulty coping with daily tasks. Now, as well, in the most severe cases, it can develop into postpartum psychosis, which is very rare, but it's a very serious condition involving confusion, hallucinations and delusional thinking. Now, infant homicide itself is extremely rare, and the vast majority of parents experiencing postpartum depression do not harm their children. But research does suggest that these tragedies do occur. Well, when they do occur, they are most commonly associated with severe untreated mental illness, particularly postpartum psychosis, rather than postpartum depression alone. Now, while we don't know all of the details, it could possibly be that Nicole's postpartum depression had developed into something more severe, and she genuinely believed that her story was true. Now, as well, some social media posts emerged just days after the newborn's death, which show Nicole playing the part of a grieving mother.
This is an unexpected tragedy that's happened. I can't even talk, I need to pause. I've tried to record this so many times and I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Nothing in the world's going to bring my baby back. Right now I'm in the right place, getting the support I need, or else I'll be up there where. I've got 2 other wee girls that need their mum. And everybody keeps telling me I'm so strong and everything else, but right now I don't feel it. Right now, all I want is my baby, and I know that I'm not going to ever get that back.
As well, another video has been circling around social media of Nicole storming out of her gender reveal after discovering that the baby was a girl. Now, in the video, we see her holding a knife and attempting to pop a balloon in a stabbing motion. Now, after the balloon pops and pink confetti comes out, she flips off the camera before storming out of the room. Like, gender reveal disappointment isn't uncommon. It's normal to feel sad if you've had your heart set on a specific gender, only to not get what you want. But nobody could have guessed that the real rage that Nicole had inside of her that day, and how she would then take that rage out on the little innocent baby once she arrived. Now, the trial concluded on the 29th of April 2026, and Nicole Blaine was found guilty of murder. She is due to be sentenced this month, being May of 2026. Katie Dolatowski. So this is Katie Dolatowski, and she is a transgender woman, originally born as a male by the name of Lennon. Now, this disgusting offender targeted young children in supermarket toilets back in February and March of 2018. Now, one victim was in the toilet in an Asda in Halbith. Never heard of that place, but that's just what it says. On the 8th of February 2018, when she saw a mobile phone being held over the cubicle wall. Now, it was very clear that she was being filmed. Upon realising what was happening, the girl then shouted, and the perpetrator, who was later identified as Katie, ran from the scene. Now, a few weeks later, on the 4th of March 2018, the perpetrator struck again inside the toilets at a Morrison's in Kirkcaldy. Now, unlike the previous incident, this time Katie grabbed a 10-year-old girl by the face and forced her into a cubicle before demanding that she undress her trousers, and then threatened to stab her mother. Now, a couple of months ago, I made a video on Lily Tino, who is a transgender TikToker who went under fire last year for posting images taken inside of a women's bathroom at a Disney theme park. Now, this incident sparked major debate on if transgender women should be using women's bathrooms, and a major point that was made is that using like a trans facade is a very easy way for perpetrators to gain access to the places where women are like their most vulnerable, including bathrooms. Let me know what you guys think on this debate, because there's a lot of points coming from all different places, and it's interesting, so I want to hear what you guys think. Now, in Katie's case, she wasn't given a custodial sentence for these attacks initially, which I believe is just unacceptable. Instead, she was given a 3-year community payback order. She was banned from having contact with children and was placed on the offenders register, a punishment nowhere near severe for the crime committed. Now, she was also placed on an electronic tag and was given a curfew, but she admitted twice to breaching her community payback order by failing to attend appointments. After going out again at night when she wasn't supposed to, she phoned an ambulance after stating that she was having a mental health crisis. She was then arrested, cautioned and charged. Now, she was held in HMP Lomos, which is in East Dunbartonshire, for a period of 78 days. Now, she was also held in a male young offenders institution, but was moved after assaulting another inmate. A protest was held outside of Cornton Vale Women's Prison, which is near Stirling, over Katie being held in a women's prison. Following the April 2023 sentencing, she was then placed in a male prison due to the new Scottish Prison Service rules, stating that newly remanded or convicted transgender prisoners with a history of violence or sexual offences against women should be placed in an establishment commensurate with their birth gender. A rule that I highly agree with. Laura Docherty. Now, this is another case involving the harm of a small child. Now, this is Laura Docherty, a 35-year-old woman from Glenrothes, who was found guilty at the end of last year for attempted murder after she repeatedly gave a toddler medication for adults. Now, it was reported that the small child was given antidepressants and painkillers, which ultimately resulted in her having to be resuscitated and placed on a ventilator. It was reported that she carried out these crimes against the child between April of 2021 and February of 2023. As a result, the child suffered seizures and episodes of reduced consciousness. It's clear as well that this woman she's an attention seeker, right? And she shows absolutely no remorse for what she's done. Now, I found her TikTok page, and some of her posts are nothing short of disturbing. Now, one post features the eye roll emoji alongside wording "court again." Another one has the caption #court, #screwed up, which is honestly just disgusting. It's so disturbing that she shows absolutely no remorse for the harm caused to the child, and instead considers herself to be a victim. Now, the judge in this case requested an assessment for an OLR, which is an order for lifelong restriction, which is a lifelong sentence with a minimum jail term. She is due to appear back in court on the 16th of June 2026. Now, this is our last case, Stephen Doohan. Now, there are very few careers that people should feel safe with, like police officers, teachers, medical professionals. These are just a couple of examples. So this is Stephen Doohan, right? And he is a 33-year-old paramedic who used his profession to perform unspeakable acts. In March of 2023, Stephen administered a drug to a pregnant woman, causing her to have a miscarriage. Now, it was very clear that he did this knowingly, as he used a work system to check for information on abortions and the drug in question just 2 days before he gave it to the victim. Now, the woman later attended a hospital with the accused where she lost the child. Now, what we do know is that he had a sexual relationship with the victim, and the child that she was carrying was his. Now, he was married at the time, and instead of risking this affair coming to light, he used the resources that were available to him as a medical professional to get rid of the unborn child. Now, Stephen, he was a clinical team leader with the Scottish Ambulance Service, and what we do know is that he crushed pills. I couldn't find the name of the drug, but he crushed these pills into a syringe and he administered them to the woman as she lay in bed in his home in Edinburgh. Now, this woman he met while in Spain whilst on holiday in 2021. He never told her that he was married at the time, and so they began an affair. She didn't actually find out that he was the cause of the miscarriage until she discovered the drugs and a syringe underneath the mattress after she was SA'd by Stephen as she slept. Now, Stephen bought her gifts, including socks, facial cleansing oil, money to get her hair done, football match tickets, perfume and loads more to try and keep her quiet about what he had done. Instead, she reported him to the ambulance service and he was arrested. Now, his defence lawyer stated that he had issues at the time, which affected his judgment and decision making. Absolutely no excuse for being an absolute scumbag. My heart goes out to the victim. I can't imagine what she's going through, knowing that his cold actions robbed her of her plans of the future. Honestly, she's so strong for coming forward and reporting the abuse. Ross Brogan. Now, there are a few different types of offenders that I truly believe are the most vile people in society, but the worst of all are those who commit crimes against children. Now, this right here is Ross Brogan, and let's just say he is not the type of person that you would want within 100 miles of your child. Now, Ross is a 31-year-old man from Finnieston in Glasgow, and he used video games as a way to target young boys. Now, what we do know is that Brogan was behind a Snapchat account with the username ScottishLad2502. And what he would do is he would contact young boys and offer to send them Xbox codes and vouchers in exchange for indecent images and videos. Now, it was reported that one victim received more than £1,300 worth of video game tokens as well as money. Now, he would offer to leave the vouchers and cash near the boy's home for him to collect. In exchange, it's reported that Ross received around 150 photos and 50 videos of the young boy. On one occasion, he left a total of £170 near a lamppost close to the 13-year-old boy's home as payment. Obviously scared to tell his parents, the 13-year-old then told his father, who took him to collect the money that he had won it on a YouTube competition. His parents were obviously suspicious, as anyone would be, and they stated that they were going to contact the police. Now, this is when the boy became visibly upset, and he came clean that someone had been giving him money for intimate photos on Snapchat. At the time, the young boy was unaware that Ross Brogan was behind the Snapchat account, but he did eventually go on to SA the teenager in 2020 and 2021. It is reported that he used Snapchat again to target a second victim, whom he paid £45 in PlayStation codes for indecent images of the young child, stating that if he didn't do it, he would hurt him and his family. As well, he contacted a third victim, who was given £75 of gaming vouchers, and they exchanged images between them. However, once Brogan began asking questions about the boy's parents, he eventually got blocked on the app. Now, a fourth victim as well was approached on Snapchat, but refused the demands when they met. Now, at first, the police couldn't trace who was behind the Snapchat account, but Ross was later traced through the purchases of the vouchers, and he was brought in for questioning. The 31-year-old man admitted to a total of 6 charges, including the R word of one of the teenage boys. Now, Ross Brogan was found guilty and sentenced to 10.5 years in prison. He was also placed on the offenders register indefinitely and given non-harassment orders banning him from contacting or approaching his victims. Martin Gallagher. Now, this next case is one that resides close to home. Now, Martin Gallagher, aged 46, was a teacher at Paisley Grammar High School. Now, this school is very close to where I live, and I know quite a good few people that attended this school. Now, Martin attended court charged with more than 20 sexual offences against a total of 13 children at the school where he worked. Now, it's reported that he targeted the pupils between 2013 and 2024, and he pled not guilty. Now, when I was doing my research for this video, I found an article from the Daily Record which reads, "A popular, in all caps, teacher at a Paisley secondary school was humbled when pupils nominated him for a prestigious award." Yeah, this did not age well. An award-winning teacher turning out to be a child predator. Now, one victim, aged around 11 or 12 at the time, courts claimed the abuse took place at the school and elsewhere between 2013 and 2016, and saw the teacher performing sexual acts on the boy and sitting the pupil on his knee. He was also accused of communicating in an indecent and sexual manner with the same boy. As well, between 2017 and 2018, he allegedly targeted another boy who was ages between 16 and 17 at the time by touching him inappropriately and rubbing him on his body. He did the exact same thing with several other boys, including one 14-year-old whom he touched, stroked and placed his hands into his shorts and underwear. And this was in 2024. Now again, Martin Gallagher has a total of 13 victims who came forward. Now, it's absolutely disgusting to think that he'd been getting away with this predatory behaviour for over 11 years without getting caught. Now, Martin Gallagher pled not guilty during a hearing on the 1st of May 2026. A jury trial has been set for later on this year. Now, hopefully the victims get the justice that they so rightfully deserve, and the scumbag gets put away for a long time. David Buchanan Smith. Now, this is David, a probationary primary teacher from Ayrshire, who was struck off for some public indecency charges. Now, between July and September of 2024, David Buchanan Smith admitted to exposing himself and performing sexual acts on himself in various public places, including Bella Houston Park and Braehead Shopping Centre. The teacher, who was employed at Laneshaw Primary School in Sturton, attended a disciplinary panel of the General Teaching Council. During the hearing panel, the Teaching Council determined that he was not fit to teach. Although the crimes did not have particular victims, they were still sexually motivated, and so it was decided that he would be removed from the teaching register. He did share that he wishes to return to teaching at some point in the future. Now, he will be allowed to reapply after 2 years. So David appeared at Glasgow Sheriff Court for the indecency charges on the 18th of July 2025. He was given a community payback order and supervision for 12 months, but he will not be placed on the offenders register. Now, it is absolutely mind-boggling to me how this man has not been given a permanent teaching ban, and I hope to God that this man is never allowed in a classroom ever again, or near kids. I mean, I know that there's no evidence to suggest that he would ever target kids, but considering that he has convictions for exposing himself in public and performing solo sex acts upon himself, I wouldn't want him anywhere near any kids. And I'm sure that if he was to ever make a return to the classroom, that there would be public outrage. Adele Rennie. Now, this case actually became a 3-part BBC documentary, which came out at the start of this year, and it's called The Beauty Queen and the Catfish. Now, I would highly recommend watching it for the full story. I absolutely love watching documentaries about like catfish, financial fraudsters and romance scammers. Like, it's such a weird love of mine, but I'm so interested in these type of cases. Now, this documentary was about Adele Rennie, a nurse from Kilmarnock who spent well over a decade creating fake online identities, primarily attractive, successful men to manipulate women online. One character that she posed as was Dr. David Graham, a handsome doctor who built online romantic relationships with several different women. Adele would create elaborate fake Facebook and dating profiles using stolen photographs and would create entire networks of fake supporting accounts to make the identities appear to be real. Now, during phone calls, she would appear using voice changing software to obviously appear masculine, and she would turn up at the women's stores, posing as a delivery driver to deliver flowers and gifts sent by this fake profile that she was running. And if that isn't creepy enough, it gets so much worse. So the investigation began back in 2014 when Abby Draper, a former beauty queen, received a Facebook friend request from Dr. David Graham. Now, he claimed that he knew her through her grandfather's medical care, as Dr. Graham was his doctor. Now, over time, the pair became increasingly more involved in their lives online. At first, the relationship seemed genuine. They shared frequent phone calls, text messages, and had real-life connections to friends and colleagues. However, when the pair arranged to meet, Abby noticed some inconsistencies whenever meetings were arranged, but they didn't happen. Now, she checked hospital records and staff information, she reverse searched the photographs, compared stories told by David and contacted other women attached to the account. What she discovered was startling. The doctor simply didn't exist, and the entire profile was a massive fabrication. After posting publicly, she was contacted by numerous different women who had similar experiences and interaction with this so-called Dr. Graham. The documentary goes into incredible detail about how Adele Rennie was discovered to be behind the profile, but it's far too much to unpack in a little YouTube video segment, so this is just an extremely quick rundown. Now, as more victims came forward, investigators discovered that Rennie's conduct was far more serious than just some simple catfishing. Victims described intense emotional manipulation, obsessive monitoring, and stalking behaviour, sexual coercion, pressure to send intimate images, and eventually threats involving said images. After extensive evidence gathering by both victims and authorities, Adele Rennie was arrested in November of 2015. Now, her first major conviction came in 2017 when she pled guilty to 18 charges involving 10 victims. Now, these charges included 10 stalking charges, 4 charges of indecent communication, and 4 charges of sexual coercion. In December of 2017, she was sentenced to 22 months in prison, placed on the offenders register for 10 years, and given a non-harassment order for each victim. However, after being released from prison in 2019, she resumed creating fake online identities and even went as far, I suppose, as a lawyer to continue contacting women online despite the restrictions imposed by the court. She was given another 3 years imprisonment. Again, in 2024, Adele Rennie had once again returned to catfishing after she made a fake male pharmacist profile on Tinder, leading to another stalking campaign. In 2024, she received 28 months in prison, continued placement on the offenders register, a sexual harm prevention order lasting 5 years, and another non-harassment order. Upon being released in January of 2025 after serving part of her sentence, literally 10 days later, she contacted one of her previous victims that she had been prohibited from contacting. Now, this breach of her release conditions and non-harassment order landed her back in prison to finish the remainder of her sentence and serve an additional 100 days. Honestly, I don't think this woman will ever learn. During the documentary as well, we hear from Adele's family members, including her mother and sister, and we learn a lot about her backstory, about her childhood, and sort of what she's like as a person. Now, you can watch the full 3-part series on BBC iPlayer if you're curious. Barbara and Douglas Daniel. When I think of evil foster parents, my mind goes straight to these two. Now, earlier this year, the couple were found guilty of breaching a position of trust to abuse vulnerable foster children in their care. The couple, who now live in Kent, attended trial on the 27th of January 2026, following their convictions of 6 charges, including subjecting 6 children, who were aged between 4 and 14, to cruel and unnatural treatment between 1986 and 1991. At the time, the couple were living in the Parkhead area of Glasgow, and they would mistreat their foster kids so badly, like going as far as to force them into animal cages and make one of the children stand among geese that would peck her. And they pushed another child into a dirty outdoor bird bath. As well, these children were forced to go hungry, and one was even made to eat cow's tongue, which was meant to feed the family ferret. The children were also subjected to violent physical attacks and controlling behaviour, with the couple going as far as to lock them in rooms, monitored with alarmed windows, restricting their bathroom access, and only allowing each child one single square of toilet paper. They would also force the children to stand staring at the wall for hours, occasionally on one leg, so long to the point that the children would collapse. Now, I have no place in this world for child abusers, and the reason is that these scumbags only pick on those who are weaker and more vulnerable than them, and I hope to God that they are receiving the same treatment in prison that they brought upon these poor kids. On the 9th of March 2026, Barbara and Douglas Daniel were both sentenced to 30 months in prison. Frankly, a sentence that I feel is absolutely nowhere near long enough. Thomas Gordon. I've just realised this is the first person on this list that isn't a child abuser or ex-offender. I feel like the series has taken a turn. Like, we started off by covering like Scotland's most notorious TikTok idiots, and now we're here. Anyways, this is Thomas Gordon, who now goes by the name Becca Gordon, from Christorfin Hill in Edinburgh. And in January of 2021, Thomas had a row with his mother. Now, this whole thing was caught on CCTV camera when Thomas viciously volleys his mother's 6-year-old cat, Oreo. Now, in the video, we see him holding the cat by the back of its neck before volleying it, like it's a football. Thomas Gordon claimed that he did it after the cat bit him, which from the video we just can't see happening, and even if it did, that's still no reaction to have. Now, this footage was posted to Facebook and soon went viral, with animal lovers sparking extreme outrage. Both the police and the Scottish SPCA were alerted to the footage being widely shared online. Gordon was later identified, arrested and charged. Now, on the 4th of April 2023, he pled guilty to causing an animal unnecessary suffering. He was fined a total of £245 and banned from keeping or owning animals for 2 years.